Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the studio at Westminster today. And it feels very interesting to be back here again, and hopefully sound is good. So give me a thumbs up if the sound is good, okay? And the floor has been redone since we've been away from here, so that feels really good. And I am actually we're going to start on the back. So I'm going to invite you to come down onto your back with your knees bent, and you don't need to have anything close by. So you're just going to be on your back with your knees bent and your arms down at your sides. And take a few moments to breathe and allow your body to soften. And so as you breathe in, you feel yourself expand, and then as you exhale, inviting your body to soften and to ground down towards the earth, so that we're not efforting at all. You're softening your muscles, you're relaxing your nervous system, a gentle breath in and out. And noticing how you feel. And, you know, if you need to move through your body a little bit to check in with how everything's feeling, go ahead and do that. And thinking about how you want to feel when we are done with practice today, okay? And so setting your intention. And then with your breath, I just want you to gently tilt the pelvis up and down. So, and you can feel your pelvis on the floor as you move, and you're making the movement as big or as small as it feels good in your body, right? So just up and down with your breath. Inhale, lift up, exhale, come back down. And after a couple of breaths, then I want you to move side to side, left to right, which may or may not be uncomfortable, but you're just moving left to right. So kind of shifting your weight, again, with your breath. And notice, like as I'm doing this, when I move over to the left, I press down with my right foot and vice versa, right? And then after doing both sides a few times, we're going to pause for a moment. And most of you have done this before. We're going to picture that there's a clock under, drawn on the ground underneath us. And 12 is going to be kind of where your belly button is. 6 would be where the pubic bone is, and 3 and 9 on the hips. And so what I want you to do is to start to make a circle going clockwise. And you're still breathing, and you're moving slowly, making a circle with the lower part of your body. And you kind of notice where your body touches the floor and the different touch points as you move around the clock. And no rush, and continuing to soften your body and your breath, right? So not efforting here, right? And I know I've said that a couple of times, but just really allowing your body and your breath to glide through this motion. Now, the next time that you come back up to the 12, we're going to pause for a moment, and then you're going to go in a counterclockwise direction. So just the opposite of what you were doing, still moving slowly with your breath and noticing the parts of the body that connect with the floor, softening your muscles, softening your breath, slow, thoughtful movements. Now, again, eventually we'll come back to the 12, and then we're going to pause and bring your arms down to your sides if they're not already there. And then I want you to walk your knees and ankles so that they're touching one another. And it's going to be a couple of different movements that we put together here. So just bear with me. The inhale, you're gonna lift your left arm up and gently bring your knees over to the right. And you're gonna turn your face to the right, right? Exhale, back to the center, arms come down. Inhale, right arm comes up, head turns to the left as the knees slowly turn to the left. Exhale, back to center. And we're gonna alternate sides, and we're not going for the deepest movement that we can make. We're just starting with some small, gentle movements, and you're noticing how it feels in your shoulder, in your spine, in your hips as you're moving. And of course, if it doesn't feel good to move any of the parts that I mentioned, that's okay. You're just going to move the parts that feel good. We're going to do each side one more time. So you're moving on the inhale and on the exhale, coming back to center. Last time, knees to the left, back to center, and then we're going to bring in the right knee and then the left knee. So you're holding both knees and maybe making circles or just squeezing them in towards your chest, noticing how the low back feels as you're doing this. Again, it's like a little bit of a massage, our body weight and gravity working as you're moving your body, if you're moving it in a circle. And then when you feel complete with that, we're going to gently take your feet down to the ground and roll over to your side and sit on up. And here you might have some tennis balls. So if you do, you're going to take them, we're going to place them, so your butt's going to stay on the ground, and you're going to place the tennis balls right in front of your sits bones. And then I want you to move front to back, right, or side to side, whatever feels good. And if you don't have tennis balls, maybe you're massaging this part of your body, okay? Just still breathing, feeling your breath and your body connected. From here, when you are ready to move on, we're going to take the tennis balls out and take them to the outside of each sit bone. So you're not lifting your whole butt up, and you're going to place one on either side and then carefully bring your knees from left to right. Again, thinking about throughout our practice today about gentle breath, softening, softening, softening. Now again, as you start to feel done with the sides, and you probably see me moving my body around so that the tennis balls touch different areas. When you're done with the sides, we're going to sit up, take the tennis balls behind you, gently bring your body back. Again, knees are bent, and you're going to bring your knees carefully side to side. And right now I'm on my palms, but I could be on my elbows. I could also have blocks underneath my elbows. So making sure that all parts of your body feel comfortable as we're going through this practice. Now, eventually, again, we're going to come to a place that we stop. And here we're going to come on to our knees. So if you like to have a blanket under your knees, I'm going to invite you to place one there. And you could be on your hands and knees. You could also be on your elbows. So you're going to find the position that feels good to you. And I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. You're going to engage those lower abdominals. Your inhale will be up here. Exhale, you'll come down towards child's pose. So again, you could be on your elbows. Inhale is up. Exhale, down. I'm going to do that one more time. And when you come back up, we're going to make our way onto our knees. And I like to have the toes turned under here for a little bit more support. And just pause for a moment. If your knees are at all uncomfortable, put a blanket underneath there. Connect with your breath. We're going to inhale both arms up towards the sky and exhale down towards child's pose with the tops of your hands on your pelvis. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands onto the pelvis, forehead towards the ground, and you could have a block underneath where your head is going to go if you want to have a touch point and your head doesn't come down to the ground. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale down. And last time, inhale up, exhale down. And then when you're ready, you're going to carefully make your way up. We're going to come all the way up to standing. And again, if you have a block or something like a block, you could also use like a chair or a step stool. We're going to place the block just to the side of our left foot. And we're going to have our feet about hip width apart. Hands can be on your hips or wherever it's comfortable. And without locking your knees, but we're going to have the legs straight, we're going to make some big circles with the hips. And you're going to just go around a few times in one direction. We're going to pause and then go a few times in the other direction. And I'm kind of exaggerating it because it feels good in my body like that, but you're making whatever movements feel good in your body, right? So eventually we'll come to a place where we stop. We're going to have the hands on the outsides of our thighs. Inhale is going to be up. Exhale, you're going to slide down your leg. And it doesn't matter which side because we're going to do both sides. Inhaling up, exhaling, sliding down. And as we're doing this, notice what you're feeling in your back body. If you want to start to lift the outside elbow as you come down, you can do that. And then if you want to turn your vision up towards that lifted shoulder, you can add that in as well. One more time on each side. And then we're going to pause for a moment. You're going to check in with how you're feeling. Then you're going to grab that block and we're going to place it between the thighs. Feet are about hip width apart. You're pulling in towards the center. Now we're going to inhale, arms rise up towards the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to come down like you're sitting into a chair. You're just going to move with your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. If it doesn't feel good to move with the arms, you can just keep them on your thighs, making sure the low back feels good, that you're engaging those lower abdominals. Move with the breath one more time. And when you come up, we're going to take that block out and you're going to place it right next to that left foot again. Now here, you're going to bring your left foot up onto the block, right? And again, you could have a chair, step stool, whatever it feels good on. Now ground down through your right foot. And then your hands can be on your hips, they could be on the wall or the back of a sofa. And what I want you to explore doing is lifting that foot up off the block. So you're just going to lift it up and place it back down. So we do this sometimes as a bigger movement coming from the floor. Today we're going to explore a smaller movement, just lifting up off the block, and notice what parts of your body engage to get that foot off of the block, right? Now next time your foot comes down onto the block, we're going to bring it down to the floor. Then you're going to slide your block over, whatever you're using. Again, before you lift that right foot, ground down through the left foot. Like really connect down into the earth with the 4 points of your foot. And then when you're ready, lift that right foot onto the block. And so how can we get ourselves stable here and comfortable? And then explore disconnecting that foot, the right foot, from the block. And you're just lifting it up a little bit and placing it back down. and you're still breathing fully, you could have your hand on a wall or something behind you, something stable, right? And just moving with your breath. We're going to do it one more time. And again, after you come down to the block, you're going to come down to the floor. And then you can move that block out of the way. Now here, and you might have a wall behind you, or you might be in the center of the room. What I want you to do is have your feet about hip width apart. We're going to have our hands at the sides of our legs. And the inhale, you're going to take one arm up, and you're going to reach behind you like you're trying to reach the wall. And you're going to turn your head away from that arm. So that's the inhale. Exhale, you come back to center. Feet are going to stay flat on the ground while we do this. Inhale, arm comes up, head turns, your fingertips reaching towards the wall behind you, even if there's no wall there. Exhale, back to the center. We're going to do each side 2 more times. Inhaling up, exhaling down, moving with your breath. And again, one more time on each side. Now, when you come back to the center, this time we're going to have our hands on our thighs. You're going to inhale up, exhale, slide down. And moving with your breath, keeping your hands connected to your legs, inhaling up, exhaling, sliding down. One more time. As you exhale, sliding down, notice how your back feels move in any way that might sound desirable or feel desirable, and then we're going to inhale back up to standing. Now, once you're up, we're going to take the right heel against the wall if you have a wall behind you, and if you don't, that's okay. I'm just using it for a little extra support. Then you're going to step forward with the left foot. So the feet are hip width apart and then about a leg's distance apart. And then hands are going to be on your thigh or on your hips, wherever it's comfortable. And you're just going to bend and straighten that knee, the left knee. Your right leg is going to stay straight, so the back leg stays straight. Get yourself comfortable, and you're just moving. Now, when the next time both legs are straight, I want you to isometrically pull that front leg back and the back leg forward. And notice if you can feel that in your hips, right? And the muscles in your legs. And then you're going to inhale, bend that knee, and we're going to reach the arms up. You're reaching towards the ceiling. Now, from here, and you can keep your hands up or you can take them down to your thigh or onto your hips. We're going to pivot onto our back toes and take that heel off the wall. And then I want you to explore, just like we did on the block, you're going to keep your left foot flat on the ground, and I want you to explore lifting up that right foot off of the ground. And it might not come off the ground, and that's okay. It might be that you lift it up and press it into the wall. And it might be that you lift it up and find your balance. But again, I want you to find a movement that works for your body, right? Now, after the next time that you lift up, we're going to take the foot down to the ground, and we're going to step your left foot back. And again, if you have a wall, you're going to take the left heel to the wall, turn your foot maybe a 30-degree angle, step forward with your right foot, feet about hip width apart and the legs distance in length, hands on your hips or your thigh, and you're just going to bend and straighten the right knee. And moving with your breath. Noticing as you're doing this how you feel. Now, next time that your leg is straight, again, isometrically, you're going to pull that right leg towards your body, as well as the left foot, right? You're pulling towards the center with both legs and noticing where you feel connection in your hips and in your thighs and your butt. And then again, when you're ready on an inhale, we're gonna bend the knee and reach your arms up towards the sky. Find your breath and your balance. We're gonna pivot up onto the back toes. And again, you can keep your arms extended, take them onto your hips or put them on your thigh, wherever it's comfortable. Ground down through the right foot, and you're gonna explore lifting that back foot off of the ground. So tiny movement for most of us, and just exploring your breath, the connections. Now next time your foot comes down to the ground, again, relax your heel to the floor. We'll step back with the right foot. If you have your tennis ball close by, we're gonna find them and just roll our feet for just a moment. And you're still breathing, still thinking about that concept of softening the breath, softening the muscles. If you haven't switched feet, now would be a great time. And then, as you're complete, we'll put the tennis ball off to a safe place. And then we're gonna stand with our feet about hip width apart. And I just want you to move from heel to toe for just a moment, rocking back and forth your hands wherever it's comfortable, feeling your feet connecting to the floor, and then moving left to right. So pinky toe side of the foot to big toe side of the foot. And eventually we'll come to a place where we stop. Feel your feet connected to the floor. You know, years of practicing, one of the things I have noticed is that how I use my feet on the floor is directly connected to how my low back feels, right? So now what I want you to do is feel your heels on the ground, right? And so as soon as I take my weight into my heels, my toes naturally start to come up off of the ground, right? So I want you to start heels into the ground, then come through the middle of your foot, and then take the toes down to the ground, right? Heels to toes, and just feeling yourself connect. And we're gonna take the big toes down, lift the little toes up, and switch. And so big toes down, little toes up, and then little toes down, big toes up. And you're still breathing, finding your balance, moving through your feet. And then we're gonna pause for a moment and feel your feet connected to the floor. And again, you might be in a place where you use the wall or the back of the sofa behind you, or you're in the center of the floor. We're gonna ground down through the right foot, lift the left knee up, find your balance, hands wherever they support you the most. We're gonna roll through the ankle a couple of times in each direction with that left foot. And then you're gonna take that left hand and place it to the inside of your left knee. Find your balance and your focus. We're gonna open the knee out to the side. Breathe and focus. Come back to the center. Foot will come down to the ground. And as you shift, right, you bring that left foot down, shift your weight into the left foot, find your balance and your focus, come up onto the right toes, lift up that right knee, and then start to roll through the ankle. A couple of times in each direction or whatever feels good, and then sliding that right hand to the inside of the knee. Breathe and focus, opening your knee out to the side, still breathing. Still focused, coming back to the center and sliding your foot down to the ground. Now one more time, we're going to bring the hands onto the thighs. Inhale will be up. Exhale, you're gonna slide down And you might put your hands onto a block or onto the floor, step your feet a little bit wider. And then we're gonna keep the elbows straight. Inhale, you're gonna have your legs straight. Exhale, you're gonna bend the knees. The elbows stay straight the whole time. Inhaling, straighten the legs. Exhaling, bending the knees. Notice which part of your body you're using. Like for me, as soon as I bend my knees, I can feel my lower abdominals engage to help support my back in this position. And just moving with your breath. Now from here, on one of these exhales, I want you to come into some level of a squat that is comfortable for your body. So you could take that block and put it right under your bottom. Of course, being careful if you do that. Or you can come down into a squat. You can have your feet parallel or toes turned out. A nice roundedness in your back body. Gently bringing the chin towards the chest. Hands can be at your forehead or at your heart center. Just find your breath and your balance. And of course, this is considered a resting pose, right? So we want to, again, soften the breath, soften the body. Just allow yourself, your energy to flow down into the earth. And then as you feel ready, we're going to carefully bring the hands down to the floor and straighten out your legs. And here, and all of you have done this with me before, so we're going to find a way to do this position that feels good for you. You could have your hands on the floor and they can stay there. You can come down onto your elbows. I'll show you a bunch of different ways. So we're going to start legs extended on the ground, arms extended overhead. Inhale is here. Exhale, you're going to slide back to a modified chair. You can have your feet on the ground. You can have your feet lifted with the lower legs parallel to the floor. Inhale, you'll extend again. So I'll do different ways. You can keep your hands on the floor and just bend the knees. Inhale, come up. Or any combination of any of those things, just moving with your breath. And I can really feel my abdominals because my son, the personal trainer, has been he's determined to get my muscles tighter than they are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, find your modified boat pose, Navasana. Now the next time that you exhale, we're going to hold whatever position is working for your body. So you could hold on to your legs, have your feet on the floor, arms on the floor, whatever feels good. You're finding a position that you can breathe. If you were able to talk to me, you would be able to. Keep breathing. On one of these inhales, we're going to extend and then exhale into a forward bend. And you can stay in your forward bend, or you can inhale up and exhale down into your forward bend. Right, so moving in a way that works for your body. Now from here, let's say next time you inhale and come up, what I want you to do is we're going to keep the left leg extended. You're going to bend the right knee, hold on to the flexed right foot and the right knee, and we're going to gently rock that leg side to side. Some of you might like to cradle the lower leg, but as with everything that we do, whatever feels good in your body. Now, when you're done rocking, we're going to keep this foot flexed, and you're either going to place it on the center of your thigh or to the inner thigh, right? So find a place that's comfortable. Hands are going to be on your straight left leg. Inhale up, exhale, slide down. Keep breathing, making sure wherever you come to, you can still breathe fully. And again, like with a lot of our forward folds, if it feels good to hold the position, you can do that, but your breath keeps moving. Or you can be inhaling up, exhaling, sliding down. On the next inhale, let's slide on up. We're going to uncross the right leg, straighten that out on the ground, and then bring in your left foot. So the left foot's flexed, and in your right hand, and you're holding the left knee with the left hand and starting to rock side to side. And again, as you feel complete with your rocking, either placing that flexed foot in the center of the thigh or on the inside of the thigh, inhaling up, exhaling, sliding down the right leg, staying in this position, or inhaling up, exhaling down. And we talked at the very beginning about working on the spine, all of the spine, the upper back and the lower back. And of course, you can't do the top and the bottom without doing the middle. So noticing as we're here, where you feel sensation. Now, next time you inhale and come up, we're gonna uncross the legs and extend them. And what I'd like you to do is to have your feet maybe as wide as your yoga mat with the feet flexed. And you could be in a wider angle, but for what we're gonna do, I think the width of the mat is a good place to be. And you're gonna take your right hand behind you and your left arm is gonna reach up towards the sky. So your inhale is gonna be up here. Your exhale, you're gonna take that hand and slide down the outside of your leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slide down. Now, if it doesn't feel good to extend your arm all the way up, just slide the hand up and down the leg. And then as you're sliding down, if it feels good, you're gonna look to the right. And we're just staying on the same side, so you're not moving side to side. Now the next time that you inhale and slide up, we're gonna come through the center, place your left hand on the ground, reach that right arm up, and we're gonna switch sides now and stay on the left side. So inhale's gonna be up, exhale, sliding down the outside of the leg. And again, if it feels good, you're gonna turn your vision to the left. And if it doesn't feel good to stretch the arm up, you're gonna keep it on the leg. Always finding that way that whatever movements we do feel good in your body. We're going to do one more on this side. And when you inhale and come up, come back to the center. We're going to bend both knees and take your feet flat on the ground. Your hands are going to slide down the inside of your legs, and we're going to look for your big toes. Take your chin towards your chest. So here we want a rounded back. If you don't like to hold your big toes, you can hold whatever part of your feet you want to. And you're just gonna round through the back. Make sure that you can still breathe fully. And then on one of the inhales, we're gonna slide up. And from here, we are going to, I'd like you to have a blanket close by, a block, and if possible, a wall. So I'm just gonna slide my stuff over here, and I'm gonna slide my mat over towards the wall. And we're gonna take the blanket, and it's going to, you're gonna have the soft, the rounded end of the blanket furthest away from the wall. And then you're gonna walk yourself close to the wall, right? Bring yourself down to the floor, and then bring your legs up the wall. Now here, you're gonna get yourself set up so that you have the blanket underneath your shoulders, but not underneath your head, right? So it might take some rearranging. And then your arms are going to be down at your sides for support. And you're going to bend your knees, take your feet flat on the ground, and we're going to lift up the hips, right? So inhale, lift yourself up, you press your feet into the wall, don't turn the head, you're gonna keep your vision, your face towards the ceiling. Exhale, come down. And for some of us, this is going to be enough, right? We won't want to go any further. Some of you might take your block and place it underneath your pelvis and hold yourself up here and then take your legs off the wall. Some of you may want to lift your hips up and take your hands onto the lower part of your back with your fingers pointing towards your buttocks and then explore taking one foot off of the wall. And some of you may want to just keep your low back on the ground with your legs up the wall, right? So you're finding a position that feels good in your body. Always, always different options. If you are used to doing full shoulder stand, you can go ahead and do that. You know, I like to always use a blanket underneath the shoulders to support C7, the end part of your cervical spine that kind of sticks out. And once you are in a position, you can continue to move up and down with your hips. You can have your legs extended. You're just going to breathe and relax. And again, thinking that word soften. So maybe it's legs up the wall, maybe it's a block under your pelvis, maybe it's full shoulder stand. But you're going to soften your breath, soften your body. Now within the next 4 or 5 breaths, as you start to feel complete, whatever position you are working in, I want you to bring yourself to a place where you can come to, equilibrium. So maybe it's legs up the wall for a moment, maybe it's stretched out in a, prone position as if you were going to do Shavasana. And just pause for a few breaths and notice how your body feels. And then when you're ready, I want you to, and you could use a rolled blanket, a bolster. I'm going to roll my blanket here. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to come down onto the ground with your butt on the floor and your body and head on your roll. And then your legs, you can have your knees bent and your feet flat, your legs extended. I'm feeling like crossing my legs. And your hands can be on the floor, they can be on your body. The one thing you want to look for here, you don't want your head sliding back so your chin is slightly towards your throat. Just gonna pause again, soften your body, soften your breath, making sure that all parts of your body, whatever position you're choosing to be in, is comfortable. And then as you relax here for a couple of breaths, you're going to check in with your body and ask yourself, is there anything else that your body desires before you move into your Shavasana? And it might be that you want to stay on the roll for a little bit. You might want to do some other sort of stretching. Just check in what would feel really amazing in your mind, in your body, with your breath. And then possibly you're doing some movements, possibly you're getting yourself set up in Shavasana, and possibly you're already there. And so as you find your place, again, thinking about that possibility of softening breath, softening your muscles, allowing yourself to be completely supported by the earth. And then as you settle in, asking, is there anything else that would help you to soften a little bit more? Somena, somena saha, saharanya, anyate, prajna, om. So in honor of solar eclipse and solstice and the new moon coming up and everything happening on our planet in this moment, I invite you all to join me in a breathing practice and a short meditation if you'd like. And if you desire more time on the ground, feel free to stay there. Otherwise, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And as you find a comfortable seated position, I want you to imagine that you are rooting down through, you could say, like your tailbone, your sits bones, your root chakra, Muladhara, but rooting down from the lower part of your body into the earth, as if you could grow roots down into the earth. And if you are familiar with Ujjayi breathing, where we close the back of the throat, I'm going to invite you to do that specifically on the exhale. If you can do it on both the inhale and the exhale, go ahead and do that. And then imagine that as you're breathing in, you're pulling energy up from the earth, and as you're breathing out, you're sending your energy down into the earth. So it's a give and take, right? Because that's, that's how we do relationships with people, with plants and animals, and with our planet. It's give and take. And then once you feel that connection to the earth, and if you're still working on that, then I invite you to continue to do so. Then from the top, I want you to imagine that, in your crown, Sarashara, that you are bringing in energy from the top of your head, from the heavens, right? From universal consciousness down through your body and then going back up. So you kind of have this up and down connection going on. But I don't want it to get too busy for you. So I want it to be as smooth as possible. And you might notice that you are more connected to the earth or to the heavens, like just noticing, no judgment, noticing where you feel most connected. And then I want you to bring your awareness to your heart center, right? And you might place your hands on your heart. So it's kind of like if you think about our 7 main chakras, we have 3 lower and 3 upper, and then the heart is kind of right in the center. And so imagining that this is the place where kind of heaven and earth, and not heaven in the religious earth way, connect in the center, right? So imagining, as I so often say, what would it be like if we led from the heart, right? If heaven and earth connected and we led from this place. Just focusing, maybe feeling sensation from your hands to your heart, maybe noticing your breath, maybe noticing some colors or sensation of energy flowing. And so change is all around us, right? And we can, like our perception, our perspective, like how we see things makes a big difference, right? So are you making choices, how you spend your money, how you spend your time, what you put into your body? Are you using your heart? Are you coming from your head? Are you grounded in your choices? And this is, I would say, like all the time that I've been aware on the planet, this feels like one of the most energetically powerful times that I've ever experienced. And so this is a wonderful weekend to look at the life that you have and to think about possibilities, like are there things in your life that you want to let go of or things that you want to bring in? Now is a wonderful time to make those transitions or start to make plans towards them. So taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up here, for doing the practice, and I would understand if you choose to sit a little bit longer with this, and you're welcome to do so. But really acknowledging yourself for showing up and for doing practice, right? Because it's that discipline, and I know some of us hate the word discipline, but it's really that showing up every day to our mat, to our seat, whatever it is that we're doing for our practice, that has the biggest change, right? In our lives, in the lives of those we come to contact with. So acknowledge yourself. And then if you'd like to join me in my 3 favorite sounds to make, I invite you to do so. We're going to inhale the arms up towards the sky, exhale the sound Q to the heart. Inhaling the arms out, palms open, exhaling the sound Ah. And scooping up from the earth the sound And you might notice, like you probably have all caught on to this, but when we do that, we're inviting energy from the earth, from the heavens, to come into our body, right? Because we're constantly expending it, right? Setting out that energy. And so we're inviting it to come back in with the vibration, with the movements, with our intention. So my intention for each of you is that you feel good in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, so that you're able to do your work in the world, whatever it is. That I feel like
That's my purpose, is supporting all of you in doing whatever it is that you're supposed to do well. So thank you for joining me. Namaste.
And hopefully I will see you all next week.